Alright, here's a little update for this Gears of War 3 figure. Um, if you haven't watched my review of it, you're welcome to go check it out. But if you didn't watch the whole video, then you wouldn't have noticed that I mentioned at the end, towards the end, that this figure can hold its weapon with two hands. As you can see right here, he is able to hold a weapon with two hands because the fact that his right hand, his right, has a ball hinge, while on his left he has a peg joint instead of a ball hinge, because the hinge itself is made out of one piece. Alright, a couple of people asked me what's the best way to loosen up the joint. First, I would suggest putting it in the freezer and let the paint freeze a little bit, and the oil freeze, and then you'll be able to move it and then crack those paint, and you'll be able to move the joint. But for this one, I wasn't sure, and even though I tried the freezer trick, it didn't work. So what I did was that once I noticed there's a little gap here between the wheel itself and the shoulder joint, what I did was I stuck my X-Acto knife in here, right in this section right there, because it is a two-piece. There are two pieces here. This is a hard piece and this is a softer rubber. So what I did was I poked my X-Acto knife right through it, and then it freed up the joint right there. But on this side, I was unable to do that because this side is actually made out of one piece. Alright, here it is. I use an X-Acto knife and try to poke through it in this section to separate the joint, because if this is a real joint, it should open up, but it didn't. And I noticed this whole thing is made out of soft rubber. See, even if I poke here, I can poke through it with my knife, and also here on the back, you'll see I can poke through it because it is a softer rubber. So this whole thing is one piece instead of two pieces, where this section and this section is supposed to be one piece, and this whole interior should be a separate piece for the joint to move, like on this side right here. See how these two are one piece, and this is a second piece for the joint to actually move in and out. So now when I stand this figure up in his relaxed standing pose, only one arm will lower while the other one will stay out. And I emailed NECA a photo of that joint and asked them whether it's a whether that joint's supposed to be a one piece or a two piece ball joint, ball hinge joint. And then here's what they said. Alright, and here's the response from NECA. What they wrote was, shouldn't move unless the factory screwed that up too. Okay, so most likely it's a factory error. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's just on mine, but if you guys are having the same problem, then let me know. Comment down below. I just want to know how many of these reach out there. That's all. And one last thing I want to talk about is that this figure does have a toe articulation as well too. As you can see, there's a hinge joint right there for his toes to bend. Look at that. And I didn't even notice it at all when I first got this figure, because the peg was pretty much covered up by his this part in front of his shoe. So it was covered up, so I didn't really notice it. And then after a while, messing with this for a little bit, I noticed there's a pin joint there. There's a pin running through the shoe section. So I tried to move it, but it wasn't moving because it was fused together. So what I had to do is that I had to soften up these shoes here, and then I basically had to remove this pin. And as you can see, one side is larger than the other. This side is larger, while this side it's a little bit smaller, the pin. So what I had to do was that I had to remove this pin from this side, slide the pin out, and then had to work the toe. Basically, I use a screwdriver, just pried it open, and then put the whole thing back together. And now he has toe articulation. Oh, another thing I want to mention is that his foot can pivot left and right as well too, which I didn't mention in my last video. So you could pivot left and right a little bit.